if you will be able to see professional works, what it means is that this person already invested many years to be capable to do these works and without thinking that it can be monetized. So the person is super determined, and probably this person will stay here for a long time, year after year, building the presence, building the collection, etc. So if you will be able to find those talents, those diamonds, really consider collecting those art pieces.
So welcome to another episode of Who's Got Clout, here hosted by Clout Forum. I'm Mark Bentley, tuning in from Perth, Western Australia, with my co-host Alex Roken, tuning in from over in Europe. And together it's our pleasure to really get to interview some of the most amazing people working with NFTs, the crypto space, the up-and-coming creator space, the blockchains, and blockchains like decentralized social blockchain, DeSo, are providing for people out there. So today's guest is a very special guest who is an OG of the decentralized social blockchain and also a bit of a trendsetter with bringing this forwards of, moving forwards into NFTs, Nft Wearables, and those kinds of things. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce Izy. Izy, how are you doing today?
Hey, hello. Thanks for having me.
Hey, absolute pleasure. So before we jump into the blockchain, NFT, metaverse, and all these exciting topics, really want to just really drop in a little bit with you, Izy, because you've been around on DeSo for a long time, and from the very beginning, and it's such a strange experience. I've said it to so many of our guests on here that it feels like we know each other. I feel like I've known you, seen you a million times, and yet really this is the first time we've talked in person, isn't it? Like face to face, or maybe
I think last time we spoke with Alex in our common video session with artists. But it's the first time for me to speak with you face to face.
Yeah, well, it's awesome, and I appreciate you being here. All right, so let's get into it. So first of all, you were one of the very early ones into DeSo. What's your background before you got into? Have you always been looking at blockchain before that, and NFTs and that kind of thing?
Well, first of all, I didn't know about NFTs, nothing at all, and the only thing I was hearing about was like crypto, and this is like the future economy, finances, etc. But I'm not coming from finances. I'm like artist with an academic, artistic background, so I'm all about creative part or entrepreneurship and etc. So I was not so interested in crypto, and I was not even dreaming to trade or something. But I had some fantasies. About having my own virtual store where people will be able to come and try clothes on, maybe on the virtual mirror, and they can avoid going to the real real showrooms, grab all that stuff, carry on, and after try each piece after another. So I was having that idea. It was very strong, and I was trying to find a place where there are less limitations, because it's super difficult to for example, I opened twice my studio, so creating a team and making all this bureaucratic duties, etc. And now after I moved abroad and things got even more difficult, here I'm currently in Italy, the bureaucracy is so difficult. So I was thinking about some space where creator can be really free and make its main purpose without all the additional stuff, which is actually taking much more time than creating something beautiful. So I was having that idea, and also I was dreaming to put my company in the trading market, and that all came with DeSo actually.
That's unreal, and it's something that I think we hear a lot for the people who first came on. That's why I love so much about DeSo is as a way of really cracking open the possibilities that so many of us have been dreaming of. And like you're saying, it's one of the things I always felt restricted by was in the that world, like you say, the bureaucracy and all the wasted energy and money and things that go into all of that, and then to be able to see what's opening up here. So how long was it through DSO that you got introduced to NFTs?
Yes, it was super interesting. Like of course, like it was the time when we had this lockdown and we were locked in the houses. There was like pretty nothing we could do. Like, I don't know how was the situation in your country, but we were not able to go outside like further than, I don't know, 100 meters from your house. So yeah, we were super restricted, and I start to spend a lot of time on Clubhouse. That's the way how I met with a lot of people. And suddenly all the rooms start to speak about something BitClout. And I was like, what is that? And I was like, another social media? I will, like, for sure, I will not go there. Like, I'm overwhelmed with all this, you know, Instagram, YouTube, and blah, blah, blah. But I had like few friends who just constantly start to say, Mel, you have to register, you have to sign up, you have to sign up. And I wasted like, I think like 2-3 days they were telling me that. And after I did a press for them, basically I drew their portraits just because I had plenty of free time, and I was so grateful to, you know, to stay with them because they were keeping my mental health on the okay-ish level. So when I sent them these presents, they said, okay, this is the day you have to sign up. Like, I will invest in you. I will like I will support you. I really see potential and stuff. So I signed up, and eventually it was the DISO birthday. So we have like the same birthdays with DISO. So
No way.
it was not so late. Could be a little bit earlier, but still, I think the very, very beginning. So yes, this is how I start this crypto integration, creator coins, and etc. But I started doing NFTs before NFTs existed. So it was my, you know, very, very, very first days. This is how I came to this, actually, I can say.
You had that vision already with what was possible. And I think it's exciting, Izy, to think of, you know, that ability to be able to actually go in, try clothes on and all the rest in this metaverse and be able to, you know, buy it. And the secondhand clothes market will be a whole new thing if it's on NFTs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
Fantastic.
it's just a natural flow. When there is something which should happen, we are starting to find ways, and each person with their own perspective. So I think this is what's happening.
Yeah, fantastic. So and so before that, what's your background coming in? So you were saying you're an artist. So what kind of art is your passion? What do you love putting out there, and what have you been working on?
Yeah,
Before we got into the blockchain.
I'm a fashion designer, and I have been doing some design for dolls and drawing some sketches when I was in kindergarten, and when I were in the, how you call it, junior school,
junior high or
so
junior, yeah.
Yes, like the second year of my school life, I started to get it really, like, I started to get really serious about that. And my teacher said to me, you want to become a fashion designer then? And I learned a term for my profession, I can say. So yes, since that time, I was focused on that. I attended in many like challenges between the school and like cities and countries in artistic direction. But like my family thought that it's just a hobby and I will for sure have a, you know, serious job. They actually wanted to me to become a doctor or pharmacist or something, which is like absolutely opposite of what I like to do. So it was a bit like, it was my first battle, I can say, to enter to the academical art college. I was having lessons, and I was hiding that from my family. I was learning how to draw. Yeah, I was just going there after school or before school and attend those lessons secretly. And I entered to art college, and after to I had a bachelor degree. I'm finishing my master degree, all in fashion, also focused on one direction. And yeah, like about the family now, they're super proud after, you know, seeing first results. They got much calmer, and now they're supportive a lot.
I think that's what so many people I've recognized that are finally getting an opportunity here in this new world, in the decentralized kind of blockchain world. There's so many of the creatives like yourself. I think that, in the early days, in your younger years with your dreams, people just didn't see the possibility of how they could really create an income, right? And so it's a beautiful thing to see that you are getting that recognition, that your family do understand, that they really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's also so nice, and but also at the same time so strange that people from with different backgrounds from different countries, in different age, they immediately see potential in blockchains, NFTs, crypto, etc. So I thought that it can be challenging to explain them the situation, but people are getting that. Like even like when I'm hanging out with friends or like mates, speaking about NFTs, they always say, you're doing all this like cool stuff with like, NFTs and something, what we will have in the future. It's like so far from me, but I understand that it is something cool, and I definitely want to learn. So you have this atmosphere all around. I'm pretty happy about that. I thought, people could be more skeptical, and there are skeptical people, but still you can see that they feel that, it's still coming.
Absolutely right. You can feel the tides changed. And it's something that I actually really noticed after the Quest 2, as much as, Meta, Facebook, whatever they want to call themselves these days, is, a controversial kind of topic and things. One thing I have to give them credit for, or at least I should give Oculus credit for, is that Quest 2 seems to have opened up the mainstream's eyes to actually realizing that this isn't just a pie in the sky dream that people are talking about, but a reality, right? That they can access now. So
yeah, it was like a dream in, I don't know, 2016 or even earlier, but now it's adopted much better.
And so many resources are flooding in. So it really is that time of the early adopter. It's the resources are there now, but someone's got to build it. Someone's got to create it. So that brings me to what are some of your favorite, before we go to what's happening going ahead, what are some of your favorite experiences so far? Some of those moments that are really memorable moments that helped anchor in the reality of what's happening in this world since you've been coming into the blockchain and DSO. Yeah, since being in DSO, but everything you've experienced in that line.
Okay, well, I think here we have to divide if we are speaking about something technical or something emotional. So let me first take the second part, because I will feel, it immediately comes to my mind, like this like word community. It's all over the place, but really, like when you're getting attached to people so closely, it's difficult to to build a distance again, because we are basically now living in a metaverse, especially those people who are in crypto, and absolutely those people who are in DSO, because every day we speak on Clubhouse, every day we meet in different different socials, but with kind of the same people, changing a little bit, but still same-minded people at least. So we really feel like I don't speak so much with nobody else actually, because constantly having your crypto family here in your ears, and you see their posts. And also I think the huge difference between web 2 and web 3 people is that web 3 people are so active. They are like active listeners, active viewers. They're and like on like other social medias, when we start to have now like our old like connections and new connections, you really understand that first people, they are like watching, and like just they know, like they're passively watching. And that three people, they're actively watching, so they're commenting you, they're connecting with you, they're suggesting something to you, they want to collaborate, they want to do some stuff. So this passion is really something what exploits me from inside. I'm so happy to meet this kind of people, because I'm also I have the same habits, and I think this is when it comes to innovations, we have this like first waves which collect people, with the most brave ones, the most foreseeing ones, the most active ones, people with energy. So I don't know what will happen with Web3 in I don't know following years, but because we're in the early phase, I really enjoy to meet these same-minded people. So that's a big pleasure, and it's like it's sometimes tough. It's like you feel the competition, like you feel that people are like a little bit. Sometimes can happen, but like we have a saying, when it should be difficult in learning phase, then it will be very easy in working phase. So
Yeah.
I think it is our learning path now.
Absolutely. And I know what you mean about that kind of, I mean, for one, the community, 100%. It has been mind-blowing. It has been mind-blowing seeing how everyone's come together, and genuine friendships that have bonded, and ideas and innovations that have come from that. And at the same time, I think it's just that human nature, isn't it? When there's new something coming out, there's that old mentality of kind of like, oh, there's not enough to go around, I got to get my part, I got to get my bit. But that's where I think one of the best things for a lot of people is just to take that moment to remember how vast we're talking here. This is not just another part of another social media for Web 2, right? This is like Web 3, and what we're talking about here is the entire planet. It's like we're going to need lots of people. So absolutely. So that was your emotional. That was one of your favorite emotional connection parts with your experience with DSO and the blockchains. What are some of the most exciting technical advancements or breakthrough moments that you've been a part of or experienced that have given you that hope for where things are going?
Well, I will not say something new. Definitely that creators comes first. There were such a direct monetization way before, which I experienced it, because every time it was through different channels, through like additional steps, and just putting it's not like, again, it's not that easy as drawing something and minting it, but you have to build your presence, you have to build your reputation, you have to hold your community with you, have people who would like to support you, like many things. But still, it's much more easy than it was before, and yes, that's thanks to the technical part, that creators comes first. And I'm very curious how it will develop further. But for instance, like if we speak about this, so we all have this, like some statistics, how much we earned from which aspects, and that here we have this creator coin. It actually, when you look at the statistics, you actually see that how much actually it makes to us. Like my creator coin is like, I would say not a half, but almost a half of all my earnings, I would say, together with NFTs. And on the other platforms, you have only the NFT aspect. Like this is the way how you earn if you make living out of that. Of course, like nowadays, maybe making NFTs on the other platforms is more beneficial. For example, with my first NFT on Ethereum, I did more money than during my old stay on DSO. But how long the OpenSea exists and how long this exists, if we'll compare that, we can try to draw a perspective to the future. So these things are amazing, and I see like huge potential for each individual who is in creative work, in self-made like people. This is a huge thing, because in the history, never artists had such a huge opportunity to be appreciated and to have this focus on us. Like if you will read the history of artists, like why, like we start our conversation from like family topic, why each parents like kind of are obliged to at least try to save their children from going to creative direction, because normally those you think that those professions are highly difficult to achieve, I would say common understanding of success, like to be able to make your comfortable living out of this. This is true because there are so many talented artists, like all my friends are artists, so it's how talented they are, how much things they can do, their capabilities, skills, knowledge are not monetizing well. And with NFTs, the game is turning around, and I really enjoyed to see how the game is changing. Because if before people with a different mindset had more, I would say, power and possibilities, now we see that artistic people who have a like completely different mindset, now they start to have funds in their hands, and how they're moving those funds is something I enjoy to see. And we can see that so many non-profit organizations have been supported. For example, we have a super nice tradition on this. Whenever we do a drop party, we always make, I don't know, dedicate some percentage to our non-profits. And I see that all over the place. So this like kindness, sensibility, which is like when you're creating something, you cannot switch off your feelings. You have to be, opposite. You have to be super open. You have to feel the world and all that, crazy stuff, which maybe sounds a bit weird, but this is how you're finding this channel with creativity and an environment around you. So, the same way we cannot switch between, business-minded person, a financial person to creative person. You have all in balance. And of course, this font movement is much healthier, I think. So hopefully that can change something in our world even.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's like you say, it's for an artist to try and work out how to market, to sell, to invest, and all these different things. It's quite, in the old system, there's very, like you said, bureaucratic. It's very painful for someone so open to go into those worlds, I think. And
yeah,
and like you're saying, it's having, just watching the way DeSo, how quick, how easy, how simple it can be. And for those, if you're watching this, by the way, and you don't know what DeSo is, decentralized social blockchain, is what's unified so many of the guests we have on here. It's what began Alex and I with Clout Forum. But it's a decentralized social blockchain, a blockchain designed for socials, right? And the beautiful thing, like you're pointing out here, Izy, is that creator coin, every profile. So if you're watching this, go set up a profile, you instantly have a creator coin. That's your own coin, the token that can be exchanged and traded, right? So now, like you're saying, Izy, even if someone goes and buys your NFTs on, Ethereum or wherever, you're minting them, if they like your artwork, they can't buy your coin on there, can they? So whereas if they go on DeSo, even if they're finding your artwork anywhere else, it's still that part where they can really anchor and show their appreciation. You can share benefits, and it's just taking all those barriers of bureaucracy and the creative spirit, being able to actually get out and play. So yeah, I love that you bring that
creative spirit.
Absolutely. I think it's important. I think there's going to be a renaissance, for creatives. In the old days, they were sponsored by the kings and queens and all those things, the patrons. And now the people can do it. Now we can decentralize that sport, right? Super
many
exciting.
Many people have the same feeling and hope.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing it. I mean, you're walking proof, and others around. We've all done things on there that have shown this is really working. Now, I do want to make sure we get into the NFTs, because there's some topics. For example, one of the things that I saw on your profile and that you're working with in the rest is NFT wearables. For those that don't know what NFT, non-fungible token, it's a way of essentially on a blockchain signifying ownership of something, right? And you can transfer that ownership in that sense. So now, for everyone out there watching, how do you explain what an NFT wearable is and the advantage of it and what it can make possible?
Okay, so in the simple words, NFT wearables are clothes which you can wear on your avatar, but it's not just that. With the digital clothes, you can, for example, look at this from this perspective. After the COVID, many people understood that they don't need so much clothes as they have. And actually, for the fashion industry, it was a very struggling period when all the sales really dropped. And now people have this like rethinking, and also with this like sustainability movement, it's like really getting very powerful. So people are thinking about overconsumption and etc. So you can have very, very like limited wardrobe and choose things which are comfortable to you. And I think this is super American mindset, when you have like, I don't know, you're wearing mainly t-shirts and jeans or joggers or something. So in Europe, it's a bit different situation, but still like comfortable things are comfortable. That's everything what you can say. So you are able to wear comfortable things and still go for travels, still go for photo shootings, and being just, in a very simple, basic look. And also you can have like professional photo shootings for the magazines, for covers, for, I don't know, your albums, whatever you have, still being in those clothes. And after, there are designers, professionals who will set incredible, mind-blowing outfit on your picture, on your video, because now we also have like these technologies which are putting the dress, it's the augmented reality. So you can move, you can make, for example, this video session, and you will be in the specific wearables. If we will go further, of course, it's different way of shopping. You can, as I told in the beginning, you can come to the virtual store and grab all the things you like, put them on. Your avatar can be something futuristic, something very different, but also it can be yourself with your real measurements, and you can, make it just identical to yourself. And in this way, you can order many things. So you, first of all, you order the wearable, and maybe as a allocable, the physical item is arriving to you. So I see that, it will be the whole new industry.
Absolutely. I mean, you think of the metaverse, it's especially, like I say, with Quest 2 and all these things, so many people going in there. And, these avatars, like, how cool would that be? Like your favorite shirt, you can order a shirt online first, you make sure it looks great, then get it delivered and actually go to a real life gathering or conference or something and still be wearing the same shirt that's in the online world. That's a trippy concept.
And also, like, we start to have these fashion weeks on metaverse. Like, for example, just recently there was like Meta Fashion Week in the Central Land, and you could see so many people there with their avatars, and they all are trying to wear something unique because as a normal human being, sometimes it's not so comfortable to look too creepy, no? But maybe you would like to express yourself and like show that you're, I don't know. We say that what we wear, it's our language, so we can transmit to people who we are, what are our values and our lifestyle. Yes, in metaverse you have so much more freedom to wear what you want and to express yourself. So you can put on something crazy with different colors, textures, additional accessories. Also, you can be very elegant, very bold, very sophisticated. You choose, and you just go for a designer who offer what you want.
Yeah, that's it. It's really awesome to even contemplate that. I mean, like, and the repercussions of this, right, Izy, is like, not only is it going to connect artists, creators, you're going to be able to get people making clothes you couldn't have ever dreamed of finding at the local clothes shop. Here in Perth, Western Australia, one of the most isolated cities in the world. And they used to always call us WA, West Australia, wait a while, because fashion would take years before it got to us. And so now this idea that, you can really explore and get a feel for it and then bring it, between the real world and the metaverse and the rest. It's absolutely. And then if you find yourself with a great piece of clothing that everyone loves, and you get known for it, then, you can even sell the ownership of that, right? And now secondhand trading market will be a lot more real and solid in a sense.
Absolutely. And you know what? Virtual experience is not that different from physical experience. When you're owning a piece of art, for example, a dress, it can be a painting, but also a dress from a designer who you are like looking for so many years, and how how high level and how advanced they are, and owning their clothes and putting them on yourself, you really have this very unique feeling. So it's not that if it's not physical, you don't have this pleasure and enjoyment. You can still have it, like putting on yourself and like seeing how, for example, there are a lot of girls who would like to have a dress from Verabong, let's say, and they can put them on their real avatars and see how they look like and buy that, and go to the party in that. It's getting much more open for people. That's exciting. And also, like, it all starts from games. For example, Fortnite, super successful game. They collaborated with Balenciaga, Moncler, and teenagers who play those games. They don't want to wear just skins. They want to wear skins with names. and to show how, how successful they are in this game. So this is all where it starts from.
Absolutely. And then being able to then move those, skins, that clothing between games, right? Like you almost have yourself your metaverse wardrobe of, which is your NFT clothes collection. And then you can go into any game and hopefully Fortnite, those kind will allow it at some point where you can kind of bring it in and wear it.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think it will
then
happen
the
for sure.
YouTuber, yeah, then the YouTuber can get known for his clothing style in every game that they play, right? So it is absolutely incredible. So what's the situation at the moment with the marketplace with NFT wearables? Like, is it something that's, where would you say, is it still at the very early stages of early adopters getting involved, or would you encourage artists to get involved now that are kind of curious?
I would say that now marketplaces, the main ones, are focused on the pieces of art or generative collections. So selling your wearables on mainstream platforms can be a solution, but there are some specific marketplaces for them, like for example Dressix or Replicant, and they don't have such a big exposure as, for example, Foundation, OpenSea, Rarible, etc. But it's coming there. Like Dressix, if you're in industry, you will know about this marketplace for sure, and they're doing something really incredible, very huge, super innovative. So they're collaborating with many brands, and each brand is now building their virtual presence. For example, in this Meta Fashion Week, we saw Tommy Hilfiger, Mugler. We saw many, like, this is a good thing. There are a lot of newborn brands which are getting a very, very strong name and positioning in the market. This is really great. And advantage because the biggest conglomerate who own Louis Vuitton, Dior, and all those like biggest names, they don't want to go to online. They don't believe so much in crypto. So this is a real crucial moment for those who believe in that and just to enter and crash the market. But yeah, coming back to your question, I really hope, this is again DISA related. I really hope that somebody will build a node for fashion NFT wearables, because we have incredible NFTs, .zone, we have supernovas, but we don't yet have marketplace for wearables. That will be great, because we have for sure for Ethereum, Solana, and other currencies, but building on this is different. So let's see if it will happen eventually. Maybe somehow I can join the direction, because yeah, many companies are getting interest in building the marketplace.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen fast. It's one of those things, there's that slow build up and then it just takes off. And so there you go. Anyone watching, if you're keen, if you're interested, you got skills in that line, then that's the beauty of the community, right? Izy, is like, get in touch and yeah, collaborate and start making these things happen. And so I guess that's really, yeah, there's huge potential. And I think you brought up a really good point, Izy, about that. The joy of being an early adopter is, the downside is of course the pain, right? Like there's challenges, there's things don't always go the way you think and all the rest. But I think you put your finger on one of the biggest upsides for creators right now, is that if you can be courageous enough, then that opportunity to set yourself up, even as you were saying, it made me think of, setting up your store with your clothes and things at a festival, 5 days before it's opened. It's like, yeah, come in and get your store ready. Because when that door opens, it's going to be one hell of a festival. Now, speaking of putting things on display, so I believe you've had a bit of experience with galleries and putting your art on display and things like that. So what are some of your favorite experiences so far in the last year that with getting this out there and showing it to people, and how people have responded to your work and how you've been sharing it?
Real life exhibitions, they were those events which really changed my behavior, my lifestyle, and they influenced a lot on my decisions, because it was such a strong experiences which I had, and they have a very positive impact. And I'm thinking also from about the dreams which I had way earlier. I always wanted to be free from location, because I'm a big traveler. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm on different vacations, travels all the time. And when you have a physical production, it's difficult to go out of that and lose the control, because things can mess up very easily. So creating things digitally, having the demand for that, for those clothes, can really make us much more free, and traveling around the globe, exhibiting in real places in different countries, and meeting those people. That was something what I really appreciate. We had the first exhibition in Hong Kong with the one community, and after we decided to have the physical one. It was a physical one, but the artists didn't attend there. And after we decided to make one exhibition in Rome. So for Rome, it was Rome, which is I would say, center of culture and Venice, like all these like treasury of artistic history.
That's a good way of saying it.
Yeah, that's a huge event. So we had one day exhibition in the museum. So our works were just put it together with the real physical paintings, and near we were exhibiting our NFTs on the screens. And visitors with the COVID restrictions, we had 700 people visiting our exhibition. And we had a lot of TV channels, like first, second, third channels, Italian channels. We had many journalists from different countries, also from Australia. So overall coverage was, I don't know, 20 million in first 2 days or something. It was huge. Like, there was so much interest in this activity. It was very good to see, good to know. So mainly people were asking. They were first of all like scanning all around, like scanning. So we have to find out the solution for keep information in memory, because people are like just exploded with all these things. So they were very curious about the things, and you can see that there are people who try to enter to the market. There are more people who try to enter and are exploring, those who are experts. So this is what I observed, and there are people who know a lot about crypto, but they don't know yet about NFTs. And after we had even a bigger event in United Arab Emirates. There is a city which calls Sharjah, just next to Dubai, and Sharjah they have aimed to become a cultural Emirates, the center of culture for Arab Emirates. So they invest a lot in innovations, technology, and I believe crypto, because they have so many summits for NFTs and for traders. So government provided us with incredible hotels for the artists. They gave us a huge, beautiful venue, which is actually the library, but their library are super technical. So it was beautiful. They built it for us, a separated scene where people can visit and just see the NFTs. And we had a lot of guests. We had a workshop, so we gave workshops, everybody on their certain topic. I was speaking about wearables, of course, and my NFT portraits. So it was very nice, and I like that they are combining all this fun with the education. This is what I enjoy a lot. And this is very interesting.
It's unreal, and it's unreal. Thank you so much for sharing it, because it's to hear, first of all, governments participating and supporting so much, and then people turning up, and like you say, so many new people getting curious. It sounds like NFTs really are the missing piece of blockchain that bridges to the mainstream, right? And so to hear this education happening and doing in such a fun way, that's inspiring. That's inspiring for what's about to come next. So from there, you also are the founder of the DSO conference. So you've done a lot in a year, Izy. You've gone from nothing to do with blockchain to being an incredible mover and shaker in helping bring this out to the world and educate people and to give them hope in what's coming. So let's talk about the DSO conference. I mean, how did this come about? How did that what was the beginning of that for you?
Yes, I can say that when we start to spend so much time together, of course, it was natural to feel that we want to meet each other. We were curious about each other. And the first meeting happened, I think it was Miami, after Bitcoin conference, when people said, oh, it would be a good occasion to, gather and meet each other. So they had a party. And I was thinking like, okay, it cannot be all concentrated in the States. We have so many things on there, like, conferences, NFT events, and everything is like mainly in LA, Miami. So I was thinking, okay, if we're really decentralized, also we have such a strong community in Europe. Like, for example, if you think about the nodes, super nodes are based here. NFTs dot zone, half of the team are here. Cloud feed are here. The social world are here. We have a very great solo creators here also in Europe. So I would say the contribution to our blockchain is coming from all over the globe. We also have a very strong members in Africa. So I thought, okay, let's have a high level experience here in Europe. And first location was chosen. We did it in Italy because I live here, and we went to South. And our idea was like, oh my God, who don't want to come to South Italy in summer? Well, it's like perfect combination of like having a nice trip, holiday, and meeting with people who you want to meet with. So I had this crazy idea about 3 days living together experience. I said that in Clubhouse, and there was people got excited about that. It was like, wow, okay, there are people who think that it's not too crazy. So, and after I found one hero who said, I want to do that with you, Izy. I believe in this. I want to contribute. It was Wilfred Chang. So we started to put things together, and yeah, we were having clubhouse rooms every day for, I don't know, months or two, managing all things. So we found a very nice villa in Catania, well, in Sicily, the island in the East Coast. So the weather is beautiful, the environment is beautiful. We have sea, we have beautiful view. So people flew over there. We spent 3 days full of activities, full of really deep talks. And we built it. I have special feeling with each participant. It was so amazing to have it. And this year we are doing the second one. So yeah, it looks like we're quite determined. You say,
I think
or
you've established
what's the correct
determined.
The Fox people like who are doing this. It started from like fun and just the willing of having people together, and we were setting events every year, and we really want to make it decentralized. So this year I didn't even put we're voting for the location, but I didn't even put Italy on the list because I really want us to go to Africa, to Spain, we have today the
sorry, we just missed that bit.
World.
Izy, you said and today was where we
yes, we're choosing the location, and this morning we had a big talk about Helsinki, that there is a lot of people who are interested to make have it as the main location. So yeah, I think it will be a very nice experience for one individual to visit the event in different countries, and you're collecting members from different locations rather than going every year to one certain place. I believe that can be very, very pleasurable experience, which also gives you a lot very diverse background.
We got a very pleasurable experience, but then when you went to the diverse part, it started dropping again. The gods are kind today.
Let me do this. Should be fine now.
All right, sweet.
Our chat is just going crazy all these days. It's like super nice.
I gotta say, this is that thing of just surrender, right? It's like, hey, you can try and get it perfect, but perfect is in the surrendering and the madness. This is I think this speaks, these connection issues, even because people often worry about going into the virtual world. They think, oh, what about real life? Everyone's going to be disconnected. But I think you're showing right there, actually what happens is the opposite, right? That connection you make in the metaverse, everyone wants to get together in person. And I'm looking forward to when I'm allowed to
Absolutely.
leave Australia, because I can't yet because of all the lockdowns and things. But when it does happen, I definitely want to get there. So when is the conference this year?
Okay, we're deciding, we will be voting in the end of the week for location and dates. But from all the feedback which we collected so far, second part of October sounds like a date. And we have a lot of excitement about making this in Ibiza. Like this is like a great combination of everything what we need. And as I told earlier, today in the morning we start to have a big conversation about Helsinki. Also, we had yesterday conversation about Turkey. So we're really deciding. Everything sounds very extremely exciting. At least for myself, but also for many participants and our Telegram chat. If you're not yet on Telegram chat, you want to participate, give your vote, give your suggestions, like everybody are welcome. And yeah, our chat is like the most alive chat among all the others now, and people are really putting so much thoughts, and I can see that, you know, they are excited to meet.
Absolutely. I mean, I think so much of the gold comes from those times, right? Where we get together in person, you get real, you get to hang out, and I can't wait to get there, Izy. October sounds good for me, so I'll definitely support that one. That should give us enough time for me to be able to get over there.
Michaela, founder of Supernovas, she said yesterday, "Oh, October is like 10 years in our language." I said, "Yeah, so many things can happen," and I'm so excited about meeting with those incredibly innovative people. Like each person in this group chat, they have their own specialized skills, and if we will just, you know, this is what excites me a lot: bringing people together, because each person is a treasury, and speaking with them, it can really change your mindset and can really influence on your life and on your decision on your project. I think it's like such a great networking, especially with a spice of personal attachment, because we spend so much time together. Super excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, if you're watching this again and you're a creator out there, because so many are feeling alone in this world right now, right? In Web 2 especially, it's a very isolated kind of place. It's a bit hard to sometimes find your place. Then, you know, get involved, jump in, you know, and take part in building it, because the community is incredible, like you're saying, Izy. And I have been blown away as well by the caliber of humans, you know, that creative spirit that's being freed in this area. So if you've got a dream, then you can probably find the builders that can help make it happen, right? It's by getting
And I agree
involved.
with you completely about like that Web3 actually brings people together much better than we had in our history before. Like when you have your work, your maybe studies, your family, then you have a very limited circle of your network. But when you're coming to Web3, wow, you expand people, you know, the circle of people, you know, so widely, and we're meeting so frequently. Everybody met with people who they know virtually in real life if they live in the more or less close areas. So definitely it brings people together.
Absolutely.
Decentralization
Absolutely.
makes people together.
Isn't it great? And I was just talking with my dad actually today about how people are always trying to fix, you know, people and things, but in the end, it's the environment which is often creating the conditions. You know, the environment brings out things from people, and so this Web3, it has absolutely been bringing out the best in people. Now, Izy, with that, I am very aware of the time. I'm super grateful you spent so much time with us, and I always tend to try and steal Alex's little time, yeah, in the end there. So, Alex, I'll bring you on now to ask some questions with Izy and have your conversation, and after that, we'll have a few last words. But Izy, this is just the beginning, and I'm really looking forward to when we can sit in person. I'll be making sure I do everything I can to get there for that conference. And anyone watching, throw the comments down below on the video. Let us know if you're coming. If you've got any questions, throw them in there. We'll keep an eye on that. But for now, Alex, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mark. Wow, you've covered so much topics, and this is for sure. You, Izy, did just huge work in the Web3 and on DISO as well. So you just you've been a part and a founder of DISO conference. That time it was Clout conference. So then you've participated in real life art exhibitions. You've made a lot of interviews, and apart from it, I've seen that you held a lecture at university. And what was it about, and what was the reaction from the students?
Oh, yes. I think I understand what you mean. I have been invited to give a lecture about NFT wearables in my university, and my university is the biggest one in Europe. So it was. I didn't expect that a university will open such a innovative topic. You need to set the things again with bureaucratic point of view. So yes, I gave a lecture to my colleagues, basically like different group, but people who are on the same stage as me, like finishing the master degree. It was really great, and people are very interested. And some of them, they have done already amazing work previously, in which I can see how they can adopt to NFTs and Web3 in general. So imagine if we will have a proper courses about Web3, maybe building nodes, making NFT collections, and if they will be as a thesis or as their final project, they will have to create a metaverse, create a gallery, create a collection. Wow, this is mind blowing! And I was super excited about making that. It was so nice and unexpected.
Awesome. And be honest with us, please. What was the reaction from students? Were they bored, or were they
Absolutely
excited?
No. Absolutely no. Everybody were just, their eyes were shining. If you will look at them, we had the interesting situation was that professors of the course, they are, I would say, around 50 years old, and they are trying to understand the thing, and they're trying to connect with their previous knowledges. So for them, it took a bit longer time to understand, but they are very keen to learn more about that. But students, they are catching things immediately, and they are like bombing you with questions, and they are so grateful for this information, because usually after the lectures, you are saying, yeah, thanks, professor, it was nice. But after these lectures, students are staying in the classroom and asking things and clarifying things, and like trying to understand how they can start to combining during their studies with how they can combine this knowledge. That was super interesting. And also speaking about that with my professor, actually I start to work already during my studies. I started to work with Tommy Hilfiger brand, if you know about that, because they saw my project. It is an innovative project. I do things in fashion with innovations and trying to combine with the physics, electricity, solar panels. So I showed this project, and I said in the end that I really don't see I don't really see the normal marketing way for this, and I want to sell them as NFTs, and people can try them on digital digital galleries, studios. So with all that said, I didn't know that I was catching the point, and they invited me to meet with creative director of Tommy Hilfiger. Did presentation for him, and he said, I'm blown away, because I didn't know that they entering the metaverse. And now in this Meta Fashion Week, we had the corner of Tommy Hilfiger, and I had no idea about that. That's why they got interested. So if you're a student now, like, feel free to make your projects and thesis about metaverse and all that experience.
This is mind-boggling. This is insane. What you are sharing with us is just the next step in our evolution in Web3 for sure. And I'm keen to learn more about it when we have time to talk about it for sure. And one piece of advice, or maybe just an idea that I want to share with you is to propose to you is you should use NFT as a ticket for your lecture for your students, or let your university buy your time for this lecture as an NFT.
I see a strong entrepreneur here, huh?
Okay. I have another question about your activity that made me excited and just shocked me. You've partnered with the female community of body acts, right? What was this about, and what was your experience?
Okay, this is a very interesting project. So we all know about Bored Ape Yacht Club. And what is interesting is that in their 10,000 piece collection, there are very, very few ape ladies. So there is a wonderful lady whose name is Novo. She collected few female apes, and she started a whole new movement. And she called this a project Bored Ape Ladies residency program. So basically, she's giving a chance to creative people, not only females, but also males, non-binary. We have also Ai with us as a resident artist. So she is providing us a possibility to make derivatives out of female OG apes. In this way, we're bringing a bigger amount of female presence, like female apes presence in the whole collection of derivatives. So that this is the idea. And the whole structure is absolutely amazing. You have to read their like white paper and everything, but the community is super strong. And I'm not involved to many projects. I usually stay a part of like many of different suggestions, but because I really want to invest as much as possible to make it to really be with the community. And Bored Ape Ladies is a project which I'm so attached to. It's really great because every drop there are different artists who are making derivatives, and after we're collaborating all together, and the way how you're growing with the collective is really strong because like we are sharing everything together. So we don't have a one person who is leading or a few entities who are leading. So we're really sharing all together, and it's really cool to see that all these values of Web3 is built naturally inside of the concept, and it moves project much more forward than if it would be set it in different way. So yes, this is a very cool project. Definitely check it out. It's on OpenSea, and just Google for Bored Ape Ladies, and we have our virtual gallery as well. Super nice. Like, just set some time to check it out. It's like, wow, very beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing it, and this is definitely worth our time to check it out and to interact in some way. So I have the last question about NFTs, and then I'll jump in talking about you and your preferences and your habits and so on and so forth. So my last question is about that NFTs has two sides of the coin. It's like one part is the art, and another part is the product management, like marketing, community management, events, parties, etc. Which part is more important in your opinion, and why?
Okay. I know that majority of crypto-minded people are from finances and business and etc. And still, even if NFTs and art became such a huge thing in the market, in percentage, they're less creative people. So that's why we can see that people understand much quicker these generative collections with the strong utilities. But they're struggling to understand the value of art still. But still, all the direction is really good, and it going towards it has a good direction. What I want to say is that if you're a collector, really think from this perspective. Try to think from this perspective. If you can understand that the work is professional, if you can work on your eye and start to understand what is art, what are the constructions of art, because art is also mathematics, different kind of mathematics, and people are spending years and years and years to build their skills. And if you will just start to look on them, you will kind of understand what is it's really visible to see if a person is professional or became an artist yesterday. So what I want to say is that if you will be able to see the professional works, what it means is that this person already invested many years to be capable to do these works, and without thinking that it can be monetized. So the person is super determined, and probably this person will stay here for a long time, year after year, building the presence, building the collection, etc. So if you will be able to find those like talents, those diamonds, really consider collecting those art pieces. Yes, utilities are super important, but not all the artists understand how to work with utilities. But I think the huge utility is in art itself as well. Because if you would invest, like, of course, nobody alive had this chance, but imagine if you would invest in those paintings of Rembrandt in those days, Michelangelo or something. This is just the art piece, which does not provide you with some certain like utilities, like it's not a key for something, it's not bring you to certain, I don't know, groups of people, but just because it's a masterpiece, you have this incredible value. So I think after like 10 years or even less, because it's moving so fast, if you will be owning a really beautiful artwork, you not only will support a creative person, pure creative person, I can say, but also like you can unlock something in the long run. So consider that. And about utilities, they are still important. Everybody are thinking how they can bring value to their collectors, and for sure, like being an NFT creator myself, I'm always thinking about how my collectors can benefit from me. So I was drawing the custom portraits first I was drawing the custom portraits for my collectors. Secondly, I was exhibiting them. Thirdly, I was exhibiting them even when they were sold. So just to make that piece of art more popular, people will see it, people will start to recognize it. So in many exhibitions, I'm putting the same portraits just to give this additional value to collectors. Apart of that, we send our NFTs to space. How like great is that? Like with Chase Tilly, Michelle from NFTs to space, with Artemis Network. They did this incredible mission when we sent our NFTs to space. They abroaded the Earth and came back. And like for instance, some of my NFTs, they were like downloaded from satellite from Africa when it was in Africa. One from Brazil, like from all around the world. And this is when I told to my collectors that I have these pieces, they were like, oh my God, what is that? NFTs, like they believed in NFTs so much, but when they saw that NFTs are also connected with the space, with such a huge, super important, super difficult industry, they were like, oh my God, NFTs are such a huge thing. I didn't know that on that level. So that is allocable, which was very exciting for collectors. And everybody are trying to make something good, like to benefit others. Everybody are trying to give back. So yeah, there are some cool projects with strong utilities, but only focus on utility and are maybe not so focused in art, but just be a little bit have a wider view, and yeah, be a little bit more experimental and professional.
Yeah, absolutely. So your point is you need to merge both things and trying to do both best at both of them, right?
Yeah, as creators, we're trying to do our best, and as collectors, I would say just study a bit more and try to find uncertain ways of collecting, building your collection.
And the one thing that I should to stress right now is that you've made such a holistic overview and gave such amazing and beautiful examples and explanation of NFTs and what their elements are, that I do believe you need to think about writing a book about it, because there are definitely a lot of tips that you are not sharing right now with us because of our format. We have time restraints. So yeah, I would like to read it for sure and to learn more about the secrets and how we can use it for ourselves. Okay, let's jump into questions about you. So what's the best part of the day for you? when you have the most efficient mode?
Night. It's it's so difficult, but creative people, I have a enlightenment during the very, very late time. That's a trouble.
Yeah, so you're a party girl, right?
No, well, is
Just
it a
kidding,
party to
just
sit
kidding.
in front of my laptop and building the
Yeah,
wearables?
yeah. Okay, wine or beer?
What would I prefer, wine or beer?
Yeah. What would
Wine
you
or
prefer to
beer?
drink, wine or beer?
Wine, of course, wine. That's why I came to Italy. Of course, wine. Like,
Cat or dog?
that's a huge question in my life. Like, in my country, nobody drinks wine. Like, if you will go to the store, you will not, like, you will see this amount of wine and this amount of like vodka, whiskey, beer, etc., etc. So it's absolutely not a popular drink. But when I came to Italy, it was a pleasure to start this discussion. Oh, which wine is better, from France, from Italy? Or I was like, yes. So wine,
Yeah,
definitely.
I can help to ask you what's the wine you prefer.
Well, depends. Like for now, I think we always start to have this spring warm weather. So Gewürztraminer white can be nice. It's super fresh, not heavy.
Okay, cat or dogs?
Both. I love animals, and I hope to make more.
Okay,
I have
Jared Leto or Robert Pattinson?
Jared, but I like Robert as
Jared.
well. But I grew up on Twilight. But Jared Leto
Both?
is a legend.
Both, right?
Yeah, but Jared a little bit higher. Just
Okay,
for respect.
just kidding.
Come on,
Hot
30
dog or
seconds
pizza?
to Mars. Come on.
Pizza or lasagna?
Salad and fish. Sorry.
Okay. Investing in CryptoPunk, NFT or Bitcoin?
I'm not an investor in
Yeah,
art.
you are not professional. That's why it's interesting to know what your choice would be.
It depends on how much money I would have, because if I would have more
Okay,
money, I would invest in Bitcoin.
$100,000 you have investing in CryptoPunk NFT or Bitcoin?
In both.
Mm.
You have to divide, no? You should not keep all things in one
I
basket.
believe CryptoPunk NFT should cost more than 50,000 or even 100,000. So you
Yeah,
can choose.
maybe now they gave IP rights to owners, so I believe.
Favorite fairy tale?
Favorite day?
Fairy tale.
Fairy
What
tale.
was your favorite fairy tale during your childhood?
Little Mermaid. That's why I have this life now. Little Mermaid, for sure.
What would be the hardest thing to give up in your life?
Freedom.
What would be the easiest thing to give up in your life?
Nothing. I don't want to give up with nothing. That's a problem. Over control, overthinking. Take it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Izy. You
Thank you so
did
much. Very
an
interesting
excellent
questions.
job answering to my questions. I really appreciate your honesty and the fun way that you did it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It was so nice. I didn't expect that it would be such a pleasurable time for me to spend. Thank you for company.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Izzy, I think all magic comes from a little bit of tension, right? So it's always nice to have a little bit of those questions in the end there to get people on the spot, and you pass with flying colors. So one of the things before we close this podcast off, one of the things that you touched on there was actually something that really provoked a lot of thought for me that I'm going to be chewing on and contemplating on, and it's something that I hadn't really thought about, which is, like you talk about, so many of the actual investors at the moment are very much financially minded. And so that leads, like we talk about environments, that leads to more function being important right now. But it does also mean in my head, as I'm thinking about it, there must be an incredible amount of, opportunity for investment into art itself, because it hasn't caught on yet with the investors, right? So that's a really interesting thing to really start, looking not for the thing that's buzzing right now, but what's going to come next when the art investors take it seriously. That's awesome. So thank you for that. That's it. So everyone watching, follow Izy, keep an eye on this young lady, because You're doing amazing things, and your mind, the way you think is priceless. So before we close off, Izy, before we close off, is there anything you'd like to say to the community out there, to people that are interested in getting involved, etc.?
Definitely get involved. Don't overthink, as sometimes I was doing, and doing a lot of community hangouts together on like Twitter, Clubhouse, etc. I heard so many stories of artists that said, "Oh, I was waiting and not believing in myself, but after I entered and my life has changed so dramatically and in such a positive way, really improving the quality of life." So don't waste your time with your self-doubts. Just try, and you will see how environment will react at you. And definitely keep watching this podcast, because guys are crazy and they are so talented and also professional. They are bringing a lot of knowledgeable people to the podcast. If you will, maybe you will get inspired from one of the podcasts. So I would say these 2 suggestions.
You're a sweetheart, Izy. Genuinely. It's funny you say professional. This is probably the most chaotic setup to the podcast. I had the timing wrong, this wrong, the lighting started going everywhere. But in the end, that's the beauty of Web3. That's what I love so much about DSO and the community, is no one's worried about getting it right, because it's never been done before. And the more you can surrender into the chaos of creativity, that, this is where I think artists have a bit of a headway here, used to that crazy creativity. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support.
But in my opinion, you're one of the most professional podcasts which we have.
What's
that,
from
the quality perspective and the preparations and everything. Yeah, definitely you're one of the highest quality podcasts.
Gotcha. Well, thank you. We really appreciate it. Really do appreciate it, Izy. And it's an absolute pleasure. So with all our love, you're welcome anytime back on the show. Anytime you've got news, something you want to share, whatever, like Clout Forum, of course, we've got the podcast, but we're also here to help support creators find their place and get out there and get seen and get out amongst us. So anything you need, you know where to find us. All right.
Thank you so much. The same for you.
And thank you, everyone. So Alex, thank you as always, my friend. And thank you everyone out there who's taken the time to watch this. We know how precious time is right now. And so we hope you got lots of gold from this one. We've got lots more episodes you can check out, and make sure to tune into to Who's Got Clout every week, same time. And you can find us on DSO, the decentralized social blockchain, whether it be diamondapp.com or any of the others that are out there. And you'll find Izy under @IZY. You'll find me under Mark Bentley, and Alex Roken @Alex Roken. With all that, thank you everyone so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye. Good luck.